Monday is the first official work day of the week, and today is another Monday, the second Monday in the month of September 2021. Thank you very much for joining us this morning on the platform, the pinnacle of all discussions on Flow 94.9 FM. It is still part of our morning show, the one we call Morning Spice on the Flow of Garden State, Flow 94.9 FM. A wet morning it is after light showers right here in the city of Umuahia, the capital of Abia State. And this is the platform, the pinnacle of all discussions. And you know how we do it right here every Monday, every Wednesday, and also every Friday on the Flow of Garden State. Top-notch breakfast talk radio experience, serving you a menu of elevated conversations in a frank, easy, but intellectually stimulating manner. Of course, you call it your dose of opinions with a tinge of seriousness, so as to find lasting solutions to some of those issues we deal with right here on the Flow of Garden State. My name is Michael Oni. It's so obvious. Of course, the lingering fuel scarcity and of course the rise in the prices of fuel in Abia State is biting so hard. I'm sure you must have noticed it, and you will be asking, who is suffering Abia? Who is suffering the southeast states? Not only in Abia, but southeast states. Reports indicate that states outside Abia and also outside southeast rather are not having this issue of fuel price that has gone as high as 320 naira per liter as of this morning. Well, a liter of petrol is meant to be sold between 162 naira and 165 naira. That's the official price. But it is being sold in the black market as high as 500 naira, because some persons cannot even have access to it. Those are the hinterland. They can bear witness to this. And a few independent marketers that have the product sell it between 220 and 250 naira per liter. No major dealer or marketer, however, can boast of having the product in this region. That's the big question. And the question we're asking is, who are those responsible for Southeasterners, for Abians to suffer at this critical time when other sectors are having a lacuna, and of course we're fighting insecurity and food prices have gone up because of this fuel scarcity? Now, the big question we'll be asking this morning, we'll be talking to someone from the government who will give us the angle from the government. We will be talking to the fuel marketers also this morning, even as we have a bit of what residents of Umuahia, which definitely will represent what Abians are experiencing as far as fuel scarcity is concerned in this state. It is the platform, the pinnacle of all discussions on Flow 94.9 FM, the Flow of Garden State. We promise to at least find where this is coming from this morning on the program. Who are those responsible for the fuel scarcity? Is it an artificial scarcity? Is it coming from the depot right in Abuja? These are some of the questions we're finding answers to this morning. Anyways, I'm trying to connect with our correspondent, Ipman, known as Spike, to give us an idea of what is happening on the street of Umuahia this morning, to have an idea of what is going on, so he can talk to some residents also, and also some other persons. Hopefully we will reach him. Okay, I think I have a Spike now. Spike, good morning to you.
Good morning to you, Michael.
Yeah, great. Can you bring us up to speed? Where are you, and what is the situation there as far as fuel scarcity is concerned in Abia State?
At Sinabi Oil Services, right, that is along the Aba Road.
Okay.
And we've passed a couple of filling stations already this morning, and basically a couple of them are not selling this morning, while some others are still selling, but they're selling at 250, 255 naira.
250, 255 naira. What about the queue?
Yes.
What does it look like? Talking about the number of vehicles and some other transport, like the tricycle and of course those on the queue there. How does it look like?
As a result of the sit-at-home order by IPOP, there's a lower vehicular movement in the city, so we have lower number of vehicles at the filling station this morning, but the ones we have right here are still selling. Now, this morning on our way getting to the filling station this morning.
Yes.
We passed Owando, that's along Aba Road, moving towards Ishikot.
Okay.
City Base Limited and Big Town are not selling this morning. Now, major Crystal filling station, Diorama and Sinadi are selling, and currently we are at another filling station right now, and they are also selling, but at the same price. Now we're trying to speak with the manager of the place, but it seems they're a bit too scared about talking right now, so we're trying to convince them to talk to us. So hopefully if I can convince any of them to talk to us, we'll get back to you.
If you can also talk to some residents, how is it affecting them, especially those in tricycles? I understand that prices of transport, to transport yourself from one point to another, especially in Umuahia, has gone up. And although some tricycles are still transporting the commuters at 100 naira, while some are insisting that it's going to be 150 if the distance is more than and be equate to the amount of money. So can you bring us up to speed on that?
Yeah, the citizens of the city are they're obviously going to complain about the increase in the price of transportation, but also the transport workers are also complaining that they don't have a choice since there's an increase in the price of fuel, and that's the same issue we've had for right now. And coming from the angle of the transport workers, it's really hard to argue with them, because once there's an increase in fuel, you definitely know there'll be an increase in the price of transportation. And in as much as they call this, the citizens still have their own complaints, because there's not. They're saying that things are already hard as it is right now. Many people are complaining that there's no money. Plus the fact that they can't go out today because of visit at home. They're scared of going out today. And then there's this increase in the price of transportation, means they have to calculate where they have to go to and how to spend their money. So that's the major issue right now in the city. All
right. Thank you very much, Ifanyawa. We will get back to you as event unfolds there. Thank you very much for bringing us up to speed on what is happening in the city of Umuahia as far as fuel scarcity is concerned. We do appreciate it.
All right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Now, let's move on. Of course, get to hear from the government side, hopefully to have an idea of what the Abia State government is doing concerning this scarcity that is biting so hard, especially for residents and commuters in Abia State. Glad to have you join us. We have Sam Hart. Sam Hart is the director of Abia State Marketing and a Quality Management Agency. Glad to have you join us. Good morning to you and welcome to the platform on Flow FM.
Good morning, guys, and my pleasure being with you.
Thank you very much. I'm sure that you have an idea of what is happening, and since we all use fuel one way or the other, even we do not have some persons do not have vehicles, but then they will have to transport themselves across around from one point to another in Abia State. Who is responsible for suffering Abians?
If you put it that way, well. Actually, yes, I did. When the event started, I made my inquiries, and it so turns out that it's not even a homegrown problem. Abians are suffering in solidarity, if you may. It is a situation that arose in Imo State. A filling station was demolished in the course of an urban renewal project by the Imo State government, and the fuel marketers, giving the short summary, fuel marketers in Imo State. Or rather, the owner of the filling station sued the government to court claiming damages, which he won. But instead of the government to pay, they weren't paying. So the Ipman, the fuel market.
Mr. Sam? Oh, well. Okay, we're going to return to him. We had issues with the network connection there. Hopefully, we'll get back to him so that we can have an idea of what the government is doing. He was just about revealing what has been done, some findings, of course, he made, and he said Abians are suffering in solidarity, looking at what happened in Imo State sometimes last week or thereabouts, and quite unfortunate. But if you just joined us, it is the platform, the pinnacle of all discussions on Flow 94.9 FM. This is, okay, we have him now. This is the Flow of Gatson State. Yes, you were just about revealing what your findings are, and you said Abians are suffering in solidarity.
Yes, we're suffering, like we say in law, we're suffering vicariously. It is not something we cause directly.
Okay.
We're suffering because we're in solidarity with the people of Imo State, and it's important, and I thank you guys for what you're doing. It's important that the ordinary man on the street knows exactly the cause of where the suffering is coming from. Like I was trying to summarize, because we are on air and the time is limited, it is basically the Imo State government demolished a filling station in the course of some urban work, and the owner of the filling station sued government to court for damages, which he won. But instead of government to pay, they ignored him. So his association, the Independent Petroleum Marketers, approached government to resolve the matter. This is Imo State government, of course, to resolve the matter. But again, Imo State government did not attend to them properly. So in protest, they decided to stop selling fuel. Decided to stop selling fuel in Imo State, and thinking that will cause government to resolve the matter. But instead, the Imo State governor is reported to have told those living in Imo State that need fuel to go to other states to buy fuel.
As a neighboring states.
Yeah, to go to neighboring states and buy fuel if the marketers in Imo State would not sell. So got the attention of the petroleum marketers in the southeast region. And they decided to also stop selling fuel so that more people do not come to them to buy fuel. And so that will show the governor that, one for all for one. And this is exactly the reason why the people in not just Abia State, but it's important that your listeners know that Enugu State, Anambra State, Ebonyi State, the entire Southeast, nobody is selling fuel. The few that are bringing it to sell have decided to take advantage of the situation to hike the price. So anything between 200 and 300 naira is what you buy fuel if you want to buy today. It's
rather unfortunate because of the resultant effect it will have on goods and services in Abia State, which will definitely affect the pockets of a common man on the street. So what is the state government doing to assuage and of course to stop this I will call it illegal, because the official price is between 162 and 165.
It's absolutely frustrating what is going on. On the one hand, you would say, okay, this is the essence of unionism, solidarity and protection of their members. I don't know if private radio station staff are allowed to belong to Ratau. I mean, if anything happens to you, they can decide to shut down the whole station in solidarity with one person. So while we understand that, yes, Ipman, the petroleum marketers, are in solidarity with their member or members in Imo State, which is why they are doing what they are doing, we also frown at the exploitative tendencies of those who have chosen to go ahead and sell anyway. We approach them, they say, well, that even the NNPC depot is not lying the southeast anymore because of the long trailers that are parked in Asaba and other places waiting to get into the southeast, so that they have to go all the way to Benue to get their fuel, so that they are only marking up for the trouble it takes them to get fuel down here. But I'm also aware, I spoke with him, the Commissioner for Information, Chief John Oki-Kalu, has been making frantic effort. We've been working together on this because my agency also plays a role in this situation. So we've been talking to Ipman, the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, Abia State chapter, and they've told us just rather summarily that this is a matter of solidarity, is a matter of unionism, is a matter of them ensuring that what happened to their brother does not happen to the rest of them, so that we should bear with them until that we should tell our governor, talk to the Imo State governor.
I was just going to ask you that. Is it possible for the Abia State governor to reach out to Imo State governor, since this is coming from Imo State? Is not the cause of this issue didn't start from Abia State, as you already stated that this morning, since it is coming from Imo State, and Imo State is a neighboring state. We can't be suffering from what is caused by a neighboring state right here in Abia State. So what do you think the governor should reach out, or is that going to happen anytime soon?
Yeah, I'm aware that the Honorable Commissioner for Information, again, Chief John Oki-Kalu, has briefed the governor on our findings and on what is happening. But I hasten to add that, this is a federation. Every federating state is an independent entity, and of course, we cannot dictate to Imo State what they should do. You understand? We can only advise, we can only lead, and we can only, but it is not within the purview of the governor of Abia State to dictate to the governor of Imo State how to handle internal matters in Imo State. So you and I can only cross our fingers and pray that some one party budges or one party blinks at the end of the day, and then this matter is resolved. Because, like you rightly noticed in your intro, anything that has to do with fuel cuts across every facet of our daily endeavors, from transportation to food prices to every prices whatsoever. And the Southeast, as it were, is suffering enough already with all the lockdowns and all the seats at homes and all of this. So now add expensive fuel to it is basically literally pouring fuel on fire.
All right. Sam Hart, the Director General of the Abia State Marketing and Quality Management Agency, we do appreciate you. Thank you very much for letting us into what the state government is doing concerning this fuel price hike in the state. I do appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. My pleasure. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. All right. Now you have an idea of what is happening on the street, and also you have an idea of what the Abia State government is doing concerning that. But we need to hear from these fuel marketers also. Ipman, the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association, we're going to try and get across to the Abia State chapter chairman, and also the Umuahia city chairman, and also you've heard from the street. So what is happening? Who are we going to hold responsible? You heard that. It's a solidarity a protest for the marketers and also for filling stations in Imo State. It is still the platform, the pinnacle of all discussions right here on the floor of God's own state. I'm going to put the lines open just to get your reactions. How much did you buy the fuel? Where are you, and how is it affecting you? That will be the big question. And what should be the solution to this? Even as I try to reach out to some other stakeholders as far as this topic is concerned on the program this morning. All right, 0808 182 6949, 0811 605 2949. You can also drop messages on 0906 510 8289. The platform, the pinnacle of all discussions on Flow 94.9 FM. But just before I take your calls, I do have another stakeholder joining me this morning virtually, and to have the discussion to talk about this fuel scarcity that is affecting Southeast states, including Umuahia and also Abia State in general. Anyways, we have joining me this morning Engineer Ipman Okoro. Of course, he will be representing the DPR, the Department of Petroleum Services, this morning. Glad to have you join us. Just for record purpose, can you introduce yourself properly? I do not have your details here with me, Engineer.
Okay. Good morning, Flow FM.
Thank
Good morning, listeners. My name is Emmanuel Okoro. I'm the Operations Controller, DPR Umuahia. DPR is Department of Petroleum Resources.
We do appreciate you for joining us this morning. I'm sure that you've gone around and you're in charge of regulating these filling stations. And what we are seeing in Umuahia and its environs are not very encouraging as far as fuel prices are concerned. It should be between 162 and 165. So who is suffering Abians, Engineer?
There is, I will tell you something.
Yes.
I know of someone who had a custody battle about his child, the mother of the child, and then the man decided that since he has been paying school fees for the last 3 years, that the child should be allowed to come and stay with him at least for 1 month. And the mother said, no, the child cannot come to you. And then the guy said, well, if he can't come, then I will stop paying school fees. And then in their battle, the child stayed at home for 1 year without going to school. So the child suffered. It's a fallout from, when there is there is a problem between, there's a legal dispute between the Imo State government and a member of the PTD Ipman branch in Owerri, and I understand that the case has gone to court and I think it has been appealed. But then the other members of PTD, because the guy is their member decided to give him a solidarity strike.
PTD is petroleum tanker drivers, right?
Petroleum tanker drivers.
Okay, great.
Sorry, yes, right. Petroleum tanker drivers. Yes. So the way it works is this. I mean, there's petroleum products right now in Uzodinma. I mean, the government has delivered on their part. I mean, the product has been pumped from Port Harcourt. It has been imported, then moved from Port Harcourt to Uzodinma. But the last point of sale for the consumer is the filling station.
Okay.
That's where the product gets to. But the product has to be moved from the depots to
the filling
the
station.
point of sale, to the filling station. And that's where the petroleum tanker drivers come in. Products come in two ways. You get products either from the local depot, which is Uzodinma, or products which are brought from other depots across the country through Uzodinma, because they have to do what is called bridging. They have to report and then say where they are going to take the product to. So the Uzodinma depot is the only functional depot in the east right now for lifting product directly, even though there is a depot also in Enugu that also bridges product. I understand that there are over 2,000 trucks in Asaba that are not able to enter. So what happens is that the only product you have are those ones that we are already in the tanks at the point of sale, which are the filling stations.
Okay.
Because due to the strike, the petroleum tanker drivers are not allowed to take product from the depot to the point of sale, which is the petrol stations. So because of that, that leads to a lot of, that what led to the scarcity of the product. And in the period of scarcity, you know that there could be, that will lead to increase in price.
Yes.
That is what has happened so far. But like the example, like the analogy I gave, so the person that is suffering are the masses. The masses who couldn't leave their house, I mean, who couldn't drive their cars, who couldn't power their generators because they do not have, I mean, the price is so high, or in most cases, the stations don't even have the product because they are running out of product. And many stations run out of product, there are no products. And those who have, I mean, you find that the price is higher than what it should be, because the pump price has not been increased by the government. So
is it not an exploitation case on the side of the filling stations that have the product and they are selling at as high as 300 and 250 naira per liter when they got it at a subsidized rate from the depot?
Yes, that is not what we expect them to do. We expect them to sell at pump price, which is 165. But if somebody, if they decide not to sell at all, that could be a problem, you know, if they decide not to open at all. So they are not expected to sell beyond the pump price. But like we said, in a period of scarcity, when there is difficulty, when there is the product is not coming in, we don't know if there are other ways that people get products, probably at more exorbitant rates. We don't know, but it is not right. I mean, given the pump price that is 165, they are not expected to sell beyond the pump price. But the other option.
The question now is, what is your organization doing, your agency doing, rather, DPR, ensure that these stations that are selling sell at the approved price between 162 and 165? Abians are complaining, residents of the state complaining, commuters are complaining.
Okay, first of all, we want the problem to be resolved. So what we are doing is that we are appealing to PTD Plunged to find another way to resolve this issue. There is no one straight way to solving a problem. You cannot insist that if this is not done, I will not move this way, because they have brothers, they have sisters who are also suffering. We are also appealing to the other stakeholders, the state governors of the 5 eastern states, the governor of Abia State, Dr. Victor Ebeazu, the governor of Ebonyi State,
David Umahi,
David Umahi, Governor Willie Obiano. We're also appealing to Governor Ugwuanyi of
Enugu State.
Enugu State. They should intervene. I mean, they should try to find a way to discuss with the government of Imo State that had issue with the PTD, while also trying to tell PTD to find a way to resolve the issue. Because in the example I gave you, the person who suffered was not the person who was directly involved in the fight. Yes. So I understand that discussions are ongoing, but as we said last night, we understand that they have not fully resolved the issue. But I appeal to PTD that there is no one way of solving a problem. There are so many ways. They can give another timeline. They can say, okay, this is what we expect.
Okay.
And say, okay, between so time and this so time, they can give a leeway so that other discussions can go on and find a way to solve this problem. Where petroleum products get to the point of sale, so that it can become very easy to regulate how it is sold and what is done at the station.
So we can say Abians are suffering in solidarity with Imolites and the PTDF, the issues at the PTDF there in Imo State. PTD rather. Engineer.
Yes, you said they have solidarity with.
I'm saying Abians are suffering in solidarity.
I don't know whether you can say it's in solidarity. I mean, they are a victim of circumstance.
Okay.
What has happened? Yes, they are not happy to suffer with anybody.
Another question. Another big question here this morning, just before I let you go, Engineer Okoro, is the issue of wielding the big stick. And some residents are expecting DPR to be very harsh in a situation like this, to wield the big stick on those filling stations that are selling as high as 250 naira, 300 naira to residents.
Yes, we do surveillance. We go out to see that, and we set a process in place. We have been in talks with the marketers, and we have asked them to sell at the pump price, and we will continue to do that. Okay. If we find that yes, we will continue to do that. We'll continue to appeal to them to sell at the pump price. But where we find that nothing is being done to that extent, to the extent that they will comply, then we'll explore the other measures that we had to apply in order to get them to comply.
All right, Engineer Okoro, I want to really appreciate you. Thank you very much for letting us into what is happening concerning fuel scarcity in Abia State. We do appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
All right, so let's hear from the marketers, of course, this morning on the platform on Flu FM, so that we have a balanced conversation. We've heard from the government, we've heard from DPR, and we've heard from the streets what the residents are going through. Let's hear from the marketers. The chairman, Independent Marketers Association of Nigeria, Abia State Chapter, Bobby Duke, will be joining me very soon. But I want to have your reactions. Let me have a feel of what you're going through concerning fuel scarcity. Glad to have you join us. Good morning. To your name.
Good morning.
You're welcome, Ikechukwu. All right.
What I want to say, there's a kind of a compromise. We have agencies responsible to enforce the petroleum pump price. They are called the PPRA, the Petroleum Pump Price Regulation Agency. Their office is situated in Umaya here, along DPO route. Immediately after, before you are coming to change the bypass like that. I don't know why they keep quiet. And as per Imo State, you have secured judgment from the court. Going on strike, if the Imo State refuse to pay, it's not the option. If they have secured judgment and the Imo State governor to offer the judgment, you go to the court, apply a motion to execute judgment debt, of which you court will grant you. And tell you that.
All right, Ikechi, quickly wrap up your thoughts.
And party that you see that I'm telling you.
Okay. Thank you. I'm sorry, Ikechukwu. I have to let you go because we need to speak with Bobby Duke. He's the chairman of the Independent Marketers Association of Nigeria, Abia State Chapter, to have an idea of what is happening. Mr. Bobby, good morning to you. Mr. Duke, good morning to you. Welcome to the platform on Flow FM. Thank you very much for joining us this morning. I'm sure that you are not happy with the situation, and Abians are asking the question, who are those suffering us? We understand that you are on a solidarity you are on solidarity with your counterparts in Imo State. What is going on? Let us give us an insight into what is happening concerning the fuel scarcity in Abia State.
Thank you very much for having me on this program. My name is Prince Bobby.
All right, Prince.
I'm the chairman of Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, Abad Depot Unit.
Okay, Abad Depot Unit.
I want to make a little clarification. Abad Depot Unit happens to control the state, Imo State, Anambra, Enugu, and Ebonyi State. I'm part of Akwa Ibom State.
Oh, great.
So when you hear about depot unit in Nigeria, we have 21 depots, NMPC depots in Nigeria, and our offices are located in these 21 depots. That's why sometimes you hear about depot unit, Enugu unit, Calabar unit. It doesn't mean it's for Abia State.
Okay.
It has a lot of states on the what we call dead zone it controls. Thank you.
All right. So, what is going on? Because it looks like you're the right person to speak to concerning this fuel scarcity affecting Imo, Abia, Enugu. I understand that, and so some other southeast states. What is going on, Prince?
I strongly believe. Sometime last week there was an announcement on the air both in Magic FM and other radio station over this issue. There was an issue that happened in Imo State between one of our members and also a member of the Trump tanker drivers of Plunged. During the administration of His Excellency Senator Rochas Okorocha, the first station was demolished in Imo State in the course of trying to reconstruct, rehabilitate the roads in Olo. And they were promised of compensation after demolishing their stations. After the whole scenario, that compensation was not met. Our member went to court. And unfortunately, that judgment was given on the March of this 2021. So we approached the state government with the judgment and asked for compensation. They did not give any listening ear to him. He now wrote to Ipman, who happens to be he happens to be a member also. Ipman wrote to Imo State government 2 weeks ago. I, as Ipman chairman and members of Igbo marketers, dealers and association, went for a meeting in Owerri at the government house. And we had this issue we had discussed. And at the end of the meeting, the Igbo government appealed that we should give them 2 weeks. After that meeting, the next day, because at that moment, our members in Imo State withdrawn their services. But after that meeting, when the government appealed that we should give them 2 weeks for them to look at the matter and the way to resolve the issue, I call on my members in Imo State to resume servicing the public, and which they did. Unfortunately, after that meeting, at the eve of that meeting, at the night after that meeting, the night, the governor of Imo State made a press conference where he said that if the independent petroleum marketers have decided to withdraw their service, the public can go to nearby states, which will take them like a 10 minutes, Imo, Abia, River State, to buy their fuel. And that press conference escalated the whole issue, and that's the reason why we found ourselves today.
So are you saying that you were at the point of resolving this issue before the Imo State governor went on with that press conference?
Definitely. I was in that meeting. Oh. So after that meeting, when we made that press conference, BTD of Plunged now said, okay, maybe that meeting we had with the Imo State government did not use any input. They now said, okay, for that reason, all the neighboring states in Imo State that will join their services, they come in terms with the Imo State government.
Wow. So let us not dwell on the issue so much. I want us to look at the solution, Prince, because it's happening right now that the grass is suffering. So, and the grass in this contest are the people of the southeast. The residents of Abians are suffering also. I'm so particular about Abians because that's where I'm calling from, and that's my immediate constituency. So how can we find a solution to this issue between the state government in Imo State and Ipman?
Okay, if you like I said, sometime last week I was on air begging all the southeastern governors of to please discuss with their colleagues in Imo State so that we can find a lasting solution to this problem. But yes, it may, at the start now, I'm appealing to the Abia State government, the Ministry of Petroleum of Abia State, to call either the GMD of NMPC, the chairman of Petroleum Tanker Drivers of Union at the national level. Abia State did not commit any crime. We are not involved in this whole scenario. We cannot suffer for a crime we did not commit. Please, they should leave Abia State from the strike so that product can come into Abia State. The masses are suffering. And you know the economic implication of this strike. In a shortest period, prices of commodities will rise because most of these commodities are being transported with cars, and these cars use fuel. All of us know that fuel for PMS is of economic importance in this country. Most of the things we do in this country, the barber, the saloon, the weather, every part of our life, because of the issue we have with EDC, uses generators. So it's going to have a big economic impact in the state. So
are you assuring that if the governor should come together and tackle this issue head on, there will be a solution, probably put a call across to the DMD of NNPC?
Definitely, because it's their colleague.
Okay.
Understand? It's their colleague. Definitely. You will listen to them.
All right. Is there any way we can go around, should in case the governors refuse to put a call across to their counterpart, or should in case the governor refuses, the governor of Imo State refuses to listen to his counterparts across the neighboring states affected by this issue? Is there a way we can go around and eliminate Imo State from this issue? I'm being selfish right now. I shouldn't be selfish. But then you mentioned that Abia State didn't offend or did not commit any crime. Did not commit any crime as far as this face-off between Ipman and Imo State is concerned. Is there any way we can go around this? It won't affect neighboring states to Imo State if there is a delay in settling this issue with Imo State government.
We are feeling. Let me just Abia State as a case study.
Okay.
Abia State don't have issue with BTD. Ebonyi State don't have issue with BTD.
Okay.
Enugu State don't have issue with BTD. Anambra State don't have issue with BTD. If the governor of Imo State, labor issues
It's always dialogue.
Yes.
That resolves issues. So if Igbo State government wants to enter into dialogue with neighboring with Lupeng,
okay,
I'm appealing to our amiable governor to please intervene. Call the GMD of BPMC, call the BDD national chairman to intervene. As a state, don't have an issue with BPMC and BTD of Lupeng, so that as a state can be liberated from this strike. So the programs can start coming into our state.
All right.
Definitely, I know that if you do that, all this brouhaha will come to a stop.
Okay. Okay. I want to really appreciate you for your time this morning, Prince Bobby Duke, the chairman of Ipman Abad Depot. We do appreciate you. Thank you very much for sharing your thoughts with us and, of course, letting us into what is happening.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.